Welcome to the Signature Self Show, where we are learning to live a life that is more fun, fantastic, and fulfilling by dumping our junk, discovering the real you, and designing your ideal life so that you can show up more confident, creative, and courageous in all of your life. Hey guys, welcome to the Signature Self Show, and I'm actually doing this live, and I'm kind of testing this to see if I can then post it for later, even though I'm doing it live right now. For me, it's all about simplifying, but in the Signature Self Show, we talk about having a life that is more fun, fantastic, and fulfilling by dumping the junk, discovering the real you, and designing your ideal life so that you can show up as your most creative, confident, and courageous self. So today, I wanted to talk a little bit about love languages. This happens to be part of I have 6 all-time favorite personality assessments on my website, which I will link to so you guys can find that, because I really think that the way that we feel love is so important. It's also really important that we show people love in the way that they can receive it. I hear so many people talking about like how they don't feel good in their relationships, and a lot of times what we find is that they are talking to their significant other, partner, whatever, in the love language that they want, and vice versa. Their partner is communicating with them, working with them through their love language. And so they're both, it's like they're talking Greek to each other, right? And neither of them is getting filled. And that sucks because, for me, I only wanted one marriage in my life and decided that if that wasn't going to work, then probably wasn't going to do it again. But I didn't want it to be boring. I wanted it to be fun. And if I was going to do this, that I wanted to do it the best that I could. And so knowing that I was speaking to my spouse in the wrong love language was like, oh, okay. And same and vice versa. I'm not trying to discredit myself. But the love language I specifically want to talk about today is the gift love language. That happens to be my number one. And actually, it's kind of pivoted a little bit to where now I am gifts and quality time. But something that I've learned about the gift love language is it's really all 5. And here's the thing. I myself have learned so many lessons from allowing myself to be the gift love language person. It was a really hard love language for me to accept for many reasons. One of those being that I felt so materialistic. I mean, seriously, it was so hard. I felt like I was selfish. I felt guilty. I felt shame. Because why am I so worried about stuff? Why do I need stuff? And the truth of the matter is that's okay. And our love languages go deeper than just how people communicate with us. It actually, I think about the way that I accomplish goals. So when my husband and I were getting out of debt in, it was 2009 to 2011, I realized really quickly, because one, this was super duper hard to do. We were putting big chunks of money away. We were cut back on every expense. We were living in a itty bitty tiny place. Tiny, guys. You could literally see each other in the house at all times. It was tiny. My kids were sharing a room. It was not an easy thing to do. It was so hard. And my daughter was about 11 at the time. And so there would be moments where it was they cannot be sharing a room. A boy and a girl cannot be sharing a room. And we made it work. But it was so freaking hard. And one thing that I realized was I needed mini celebrations. As much as it was good and it felt amazing to pay off these debts, I needed celebrations. Now, When we first started these celebrations, we started out with going to a restaurant, going to a movie, and doing things like that. And then we kind of like, as we were going, we're like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose. Here we are getting out of debt and we're going and spending a bunch of money on a movie and a restaurant. Kind of like, when you're trying to lose weight and your reward is like food. Like it just it's counterintuitive, right? That's what we were doing. But because we had started to do that, and I could see and I could feel that, that love that we were giving me. And my husband needed it too, honestly. It wasn't just me, but my husband also needed it to an extent as well, the little celebrations. But because we were doing that, I could see and I could feel it. It was like, okay, we can talk about this and see, like, what if we went out to eat and brought it home and we rented a movie versus going and spending a bunch of money on a movie. And then it grew to, okay, we could rent a movie, maybe go get snacks. But it was enough of a celebration that I was able to continue to move forward. And if you fast forward now, I've started to recognize, oh, so that actually helped me when we were getting out of debt, recognizing that I need gifts or rewards for reaching goals is actually pretty vital. So for me, I have set up a system now for myself to be able to reach goals that includes giving myself a little prize. But they're also super tangible things. And so then, so I've got this goal sheet, and you guys may have seen that if you scroll on my Facebook page or you go to my website, which again, I will put links here, you'll see my habit building page. And every time I fill out that page, at least 80% or more, I get $5 towards my play money. So that works really well for me. And my husband, if he wants it, he can do it too, but he's not a gift love language person. He does have some of it though. Both of my kids definitely do too. So the thing is so many of us don't want to acknowledge our gift love language because it can feel so shameful. It can feel like you're materialistic, consumeristic in a world where people are like, oh, well, you don't need more stuff. And it can really start to hurt. And some of us have been actually abused in our love language. Like when you are a words of affirmation person and you get yelled at and you are told that you're not good enough and all of that stuff, that actually gives you trauma in your love language, which is a completely deep, difficult thing. That happens a lot with gifts too. When you are a person who has the gift love language, so all of us like getting gifts, right? Like I don't know anyone who doesn't like getting gifts, but I actually do know some people that are like, I don't really care about gifts at all. But most of us like getting gifts in some form, right? But for a gift love language person, this person loves giving gifts. Like I can't even tell you how much. So much so that they're thinking of the person who's going to get this. Even if I'm doing a white elephant, I am thinking about the packaging and how fun this gift is going to be to open and how much they're going to love it and the fun they're going to have with this gift. Or for me, I love getting things like beautiful white platters and stuff and what they're going to serve in it and how it's going to elevate their dining experience. I put so much thought. One year I did a Harry Potter gift where it was a chocolate wand, a chocolate frog, a book about the honeydukes, and I wrote out scrolls that went with the story, and each scroll went with a new gift. So I individually wrapped the gifts, and then I had this it's just really pretty because I really think about the experience that they have when they open this gift. So a person with a gift love language puts a lot of thought and love into a gift. You're literally getting love from them. So if you don't appreciate it, if you don't show them how much you love it, it really cuts deep. And I've been able to grow and learn through this myself because I've had so many of those experiences where somebody didn't appreciate the gift. Unfortunately, the person who opened that Harry Potter gift didn't really care for her. Like, they didn't really know Harry Potter, so it really wasn't like this thing. And it hurt. It hurt a lot. I love them. I've worked through it. It's fine. But that really was hard. There have also been other years where we had like a money amount on a gift. So it was a white elephant, but you had like this amount that you had to spend. And for me, I put a lot of thought and effort into what I want to get for that person. Sometimes, heck, I get the thing that I want, because if there's nothing else there that I want, I'm stealing my own gift, or I'm having my husband steal my gift for me, right? Like, I just put a lot of thought into it. And I remember that particular year, the gift that I got was just one thing. I'm not even going to say what it is, because I don't want anyone to feel bad and them to know who they are or any of that stuff. But I got one gift, and I felt so like it hurt, because I was like, dang, I put so much thought into mine, and look what I got. This one thing. There's a couple things that go into this. There's layers, because guys, I felt guilty and shameful that I was even feeling bad about that gift. So not only do I feel bad about the gift, but then I have the extra layer of, I feel guilty that I feel bad about this gift. Like, can you guys see the levels that this can cut into? And so then I had to work through that. And I realized, so then I went to this person's house, and I saw that they had these around their house everywhere. And what I was finally able to realize was, this person felt this was an amazing gift because they love these. And it really helped me to start working through some of those feelings that I was having of like, oh, I may not think that this person put a lot of time and energy into this gift, but they did. This is something they love. And so it really, there's so much with this gift love language that it helps to actually recognize it. Kathy, thank you so much. You're speaking my words. I'm so glad. I recently got to help someone work through their gift love language, and being able to give themselves permission to fully be that. And what it helped them to do was to recognize some bad habits that they were forming because they weren't acknowledging their love languages. Hoarding is a big one. If you do not allow yourself to step into that, you're going to hoard. You're going to keep things. You're going to like not want to get rid of them because it hurts. These are all pieces. But when you allow yourself to start loving in that, and you allow yourself to step into that, it actually allows you to say, you know what? This was a gift. This was something that I gave myself even. But it's okay. I can let it go. There's so many layers in this, guys. Julie, thank you. I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, I there's many lessons, and I could go on and on and on and on and on. But seriously, give yourself permission to be okay with being a person with the gift love language. And listen, if you want to talk about this some more, this is huge in discovering the real you and designing your ideal life, and even dumping your junk. It's really important that you start to live fully in your love language. When you do that, you might even see that you have a pivot like I did, where now I'm gifts and quality time. Because here's the thing, I don't need anything. Like, I literally don't need anything. In fact, if I am thinking about gifts, I am now thinking of non-clutter gifts, because I want to spend time with people. I would rather go get my nails done with somebody or go have an experience. Because I've grown, I don't need anything, and I'm allowing myself to be who I am. So it's actually taken a very healthy change to where I can actually accept so many other forms of gifts. And so it's just been awesome. I can't even tell you. So anyways, if you need to talk through this, please let me know. And then of course, the resources that I talked about on really learning to love yourself and this assessment are on my website. So I will link to that so you guys can go and take the love language test. But don't be afraid of your love language. And if it doesn't resonate with you, don't be afraid to take it over again. maybe in a time of less stress, or maybe as you've like kind of had some time to contemplate and live in that a little bit, and you're like, nah, that doesn't seem right. Maybe I didn't even, in fact, the person I helped wasn't even answering the questions truthfully because they felt so guilty about wanting things. Like, it was crazy. He had to take it like 6 times. And that's okay, because the truth is you learn a lot each time you take that test, and you're like, I don't feel like I answered that correctly. Why didn't I answer that truthfully or to who I really am? And it kind of makes you do a little bit of work like on yourself and think about that. So super interesting stuff. I love the love languages. It's only a small piece of who you really are, but it's a really important piece and goes really deep and has multiple layers. So it is really important to fully accept that. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. And remember, you are a diamond. You have a huge purpose, and I pray that those that meet you will be blessed by you. Have a great day. Bye.